Hello and very warm welcome everyone. It's Marta. It's in day 9 and last day of our collaboration between Monica, another Monica, me, Lisa, Benita, Mel and Katarina. All the links are down below to my friend's channel and I do encourage you to check. By the way, this is a quick reminder of all the work apart from the spinner card because I no longer have it. It's been given to a friend, so I'm sorry for that. But here is a quick reminder. Let me know in the comment, write down which one was your favorite one, as that will be a little indication of which one of the projects you would like to see more, and maybe the one which has the most vote I will create in the male version. Let me know what you think about that. So write down in a comment below and I will check which one is the highest popularity and I will recreate this in the male version. Now, my friends, today, day 9, we're gonna be creating flower vase. For my project, I'm using watercolor paper and I'm also gonna be needing a piece of the cardboard. So I'm using the backing side of this watercolor paper pad, but any piece of the cardboard, like old cereal box, pizza box, anything like that. Now, I have here a little palette and I just skipped the step where I was placing the paints on it. This is just the cheapest Tesco supermarket paints, whatever you have. Just pick up few random colors. I'm having here some reds, pinks, yellow, orange, and a little bit of the blue color tone. And I cut very old sponges and I'm gonna be dabbing them in a paint, and also I added a little dash of the baking soda to each of my paint. This is to create them a little bit more thicker and give this kind of like a sand effect. You can use like a cornstarch, something like that. This is just give your paint a little bit more like a powdery look, and it's not necessary, you can skip it. I just like the way once you mix your paint with baking soda, they have a little bit of that texture. I'm also sprinkling a little bit of the soda on top once I'm finishing, and then once it's all dry, it will have this kind of like a sand effect. Now I'm adding lots of the white splatters. You can use the white paint or gesso, anything will work here. Now, the first piece of the paper, I did kind of a more like a red pink color tone, and the other one I'm gonna do mixture. I'm starting from creating kind of like a bluish color background, but then I am adding a little bit of the orange and red on top. There's no rhyme and reason. You just use what color you like, what color palette you would like to use for your flowers. This two pieces of the paper I am coloring, I will use them up to create my flowers, which you will see later on in the video. And again, once I finish coloring the paper, I am adding white splatters, and I think those splatters is what brings it all together. So even though they different color tone, but I will put the same technique on my leaves as well, and all of them will be finished with white splatters. For my green leaves, I am actually using two pieces of the greenish color paper, and this is something I grabbed from my scrap drawer. I have those pieces. You don't have to use it if you don't have any design paper. But it's just to give it slightly different background tone, but you can still work on a white cardstock, like white paper, preferably watercolor one. But if you don't have the watercolor paper, just use any sort of a thicker cardstock for this technique. And again, I am adding a little bit of the paints here and there, and I'm finishing off with the white splatters. Once you have your papers ready, it is very important to leave them dry, preferably for like 1 hour or 2. You can also use the heat tool, but they have to be very dry before you start cutting them. Now I have this piece of the cardboard, and this was actually the paper we were using to secure. My husband was painting some little pieces of wood. He would stain it, and he used the cardboard as a protection, and then I was also using it underneath the window when I was painting. So I just toss it in my garage for throwing it away. But when I was taking it down, I thought, oh, looks so cool. I love this texture. So let me just grab a piece of this cardboard and use it in my project. And what I'm creating today, I will be creating a little picture, and this cardboard which I use as the backing, this will be a great reminder. After the recent renovation, me and my husband, we were painting living room. We had lots of fun moments, so I'm so happy I am reusing this cardboard, because this will be a great memory. Plus I could hang this picture on the wall later on, and I think it will be a nice decoration to my room. Now once I adhere the cardboard, I am using the dry brush with the white gesso just to cover it, but I'm not doing very good job. You can see here there is lots of uneven surface. I'm going for this kind of a distressed look. After the white gesso, I am following with some distress oxide ink, or you could go with the ink pads as well. It doesn't have to be ink sprays, or that could be even the paint as well. Just a little drop of the brown or gold color paint. Here I am using the gold spray, and also antique linen or old paper. I think it's old paper, the green one. But anyway, it's just to create a little bit more of the distressed look. And here you can see, I love how the gold ink is actually kind of given this shiny look. You could also go with the embossing ink pad, but make sure that your surface is dry, and then just add a little bit of the ink here and there, and randomly just spray it with the gold embossing powder for the nice metallic look. Now I'm grabbing another piece of the cardboard, a little bit more thinner, and I am just roughly sketching my vase here. You can if you don't have drawing skills, you can use for some template. Just search for a Google like template for a vase, and you can print and use it. But it's very, very easy just to sketch it and here I didn't even clean up the pencil markings. I am covering the whole page with the glue, and I have this very old tissue paper. I was checking the date, it was 2012, so it's like 13 years old. I have it, and it's wonderful. I love this paper. I think I've bought like 3 rolls. This is I think this is the last one I have. So I'm super sad it's no longer produced. I think it's produced in a 6-inch, but not in this long one. I'll have to check it. But if you don't have anything like that, you can use the napkin. This will be a great material, because that will give you this nice crinkle effect, which I am trying to achieve here. And either way, you can use the pergamene, or like a piece of the vellum. Like if you've got thin vellum, you can also stamp some images over it, and that way you will create this look. But I'm gonna be painting over on top of mine. All I'm really looking is to create this nice crease effect on my vase. Then I am painting it with the gesso, a little bit of this old paper ink or any greenish color one, and again I am blending with another layer of the gesso, and I'm using the dry brushing technique. I'm not adding any water here. Then once it's still wet, I am sprinkling it with the silver embossing powder, and I will heat emboss it. And I'm going for very rough uneven look here. I don't want to cover everything. I just want to have couple extra areas where my vase is a little bit more shiny and it has this metallic look. That could be silver, that could be rose gold, anything metallic will work here really well. Now to add a little bit more depth, I am creating this shadow all around on the edges, and for that I am using the same gold color ink which I was using, and here I'm just adding it with the sponge, and I will go over the creases as well just to accent it a little bit. You can see here I am very gently like rubbing over the top surface, and that way all these nice creases are popping up. And here is the vase. I really love how it looks like. However, here is the mistake I've made. I color it too simple, like too much alike the background. So you can see here when I place one on top of another, it was just not standing up properly. So I am grabbing another layer of the inks, which are a more brown and blue color tone, and I am just sprinkling it on top of the previous layer. This is the way to save up your project. Rather than add it and it's not gonna be standing out properly, it's not gonna have this wow factor on your final look. So you just want to work it until it's a little bit darker, create some extra depth on the edges using different type, a little bit more darker like navy or chipped sapphire, just to add additional extra color. And you will see that in a second. Once I will place one on top of another, it's just a game changer in comparison to how it looked like a few minutes ago. Once my background and a vase are ready, it's time to work on some floral elements. For that, I am grabbing random leaf die, but you don't have to use the die cutting machine. You can also chip the leaf with the scissors, just cut them out in a random like a leaf shape. And once I cut mine, I am also adding a little bit extra ink on the edges just so they have a little bit more depth as well. This is what I like to do with my foliage elements, and I'm also squeezing all the leaves in my fingers just so they will be more dimensional. Now it's time to work on the flowers, and this is the easiest flower to do ever. This is great fun to create with your kids or grandkids. You could create those pictures together, having fun, because what you have to do, you just have to cut a couple of the circles, and they have to be they don't have to be even. The more uneven edges it's looking, the better. And all you really care is to have 3 circles in 3 different sizes, like large, medium and small, one on top of another, and that will create the layer for your flowers. And I love to create those because these are super simple. They doesn't require any fancy tools or equipment, so anyone, any beginner, even if you don't have a lot of your crafty supplies, you can still create them. All you will need is just a heat gun tool to glue them one on top of another, and some kind of a pearl or a button just to go as a flower center. Once I have my circles cut, I am pinching the edges, like I'm going over the each of them separately, and I'm just adding a little bit like a folding pinching technique to each of them so they have this nice crinkle effect. And then I am adding a little bit of the pressure in the center so they nicely curve, and I'm adding this golden pearl on the inside, and I'm adhering all the layers with the help of the hot glue, one by one, you can see here. And it's super easy, quick, and as I'm saying, you can create those beautiful flowers with your kids. They will have lots of fun, and that way you can create the beautiful picture frames together and have this nice family time. And to switch up the sizes between the flowers, some of them you can add 1 or 2 layers and not necessarily 3, or you can cut them smaller or larger. To decorate my vase, I am also wrapping a little bit of the string. This is just this natural looking string I had in my drawer. Then I am just tying a little bow, and I am placing a little metal trinket flower in the center when I on that bow. Now I am adhering my vase to the to my canvas, and I've kind of erased it up a little bit with the double-sided foam tape. And here are some sentiments. The quote for this picture I am creating says, "Every flower blooms in its own time." And I think it's just a nice encouragement and reminder that we all need we don't need to compare ourselves to others. We will bloom when our time will come. I think it's just a nice positive quote to have, and to be able to, you know, put on my wall and remind myself that I will bloom when the time will be ready for me. So here I am lifting this sentiments a little bit with the foam tape, and I am just placing them on top of my vase and trying to create this nice flow effect. I also, the word bloom, I just hand cut it with my scissors, and I think it's just looking nice, and having this white edge all around is just what makes the sentiment pop. Now I am trying to work out my flower composition. Here you can see I'm just trying to kind of place them in random areas, but kind of mix them up a little bit. So I have this mixture of the pink and bluish color flowers, and I am filling the gaps with those leaves which we created. And I'm adhering everything with the hot glue on the leaf. I'm just adding dash of the glue at the end of the leaf, so this kind of stay in dimensional way. And here you can see I'm kind of trying to figure out the best placement for my flowers. And here I didn't like this last flower, how big it was, so I'm just peeling off the last layer to make it a little bit smaller. And here once I'm adhering all the flowers, I am then filling the rest of the gaps with the leaves, and I'm trying not to glue them right till the edge of my frame, because I want to of my picture, because I will be placing my picture in the frame. You will see that in a few seconds once I finish adding my flowers. And I'm also adding a little extra flower and a leaf on the bottom, just to bring a little bit more color on the bottom area of this decorative picture I'm creating. Now here, couple more extra leaves, just so it will be nice and rich. And once I am happy with my picture, here is additional frame. This is something you can buy in any supermarket. Mine is A4 size, and I am placing my picture. This is why I was telling you to not adhere the leaves, so you could kind of tackle them in front. And I'm securing it, and my picture is almost ready. I will add a couple extra leaves to the sides, and that will be it. I hope you enjoy this picture and this entire series. Let me know in a comment which one was your favorite project, and I enjoy it very, very much. Thank you so very much, everyone who's been with me for this entire month of August. I will be coming back with another video shortly, so I hope I will see you here as well. Last thing, I add a little extra piece on the bottom because I thought I didn't like how the vase was floating, but I think with that extra piece of the cardboard is looking really well. So that will be me for today. Thank you so much for all your likes, shares and comments. Stay blessed, my friends, and bye bye.